one of the forwards for Ireland, so that's a bit of a loss. But
just give me a quick, we'll just do a very quick one, 5 or 6 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, you can see that. Can you see the graphic?
Yeah, I can see Denise Sullivan.
Yeah. Okay, now we're just going to do a very short preview. Ireland are playing the last 2 matches in this Euro qualifying, the women's qualifying. They're away to England in Carrow Road, Norwich, this coming Friday, which is the 12th. And then next Tuesday, the 16th, they're at home below in Páirc Uí Chaoimh to France, which will be a historic game too. Look, there's the squad announced. Look, they've lost all the games. If I'm going to be honest, no, they're probably going to lose these 2 games as well. They're hitting for the playoffs in this to try and qualify. They were always probably going to do that, but that's just the squad for the 2 games, away to England and at home to France. So, just what your thoughts on that?
Yeah, against England's away, it's going to be very, very difficult, Paul. England, of course, are going to try and get into the top 2 because it's a big battle between France, Sweden, and England for the top 2 to qualify. England will probably have to win this game to make sure that in the last game they can qualify on their own terms and having the results to go from. So yeah, this, as you said, is probably a defeat coming again, and it's a shame because I think they've actually done well in a lot of the games. It's just, as we said ourselves, Paul, the Sweden game, that was some poor defending. And when you defend like that, Paul, you deserve to lose it because the goal we gave away was so cheap. It was so disappointing. But looking at the squad there, Paul, up in the forwards, Páirc Uí Chaoimh is injured. She's one of our best players. She can hold the ball. She can get the all goal as well. Unfortunately, she's in there. Marissa Shiva is back in the squad. Just a note, midfield, Julie Ann Russell. I think about 4 years ago, she was last called up. I think she played all the way to the League of Ireland and Women's League of Ireland. So that's good. That's a good thing for the league here in Ireland. She's in the squad. Much of a spot in terms of the squad. Like
of course, no, I forgot to mention. Sorry, don't forget to cross you. Katie McCabe is missing to a suspension for the English game.
Yeah. Katie McCabe is missing through the suspension. Very silly yellow card, Paul. Needless yellow card. We discussed.
Oh, silly is a very polite way of saying it, but
silly is very polite. We won't get too far. Won't go too far in the language. But yeah, very, very disappointed to have Katie McCabe missing. We need all our Irish players fit and ready for England. It's hard enough playing England away with the best team out there, but when you're missing a couple of players, Paul, like Katie McCabe and Páirc Uí Chaoimh, it's going to be extremely difficult. I think we create chances, Paul, but like the game at home to England, we're just not clinical enough. And when you're playing teams like this, you have to defend well, be clinical when you get the chances. And unfortunately, we haven't done that. We lost 1-0 away to France. Very poor goal to give away. And I think if England score an unbelievable goal where there's nothing you can do, it's you hold your hands up. But a few of the goals, Paul, we've given away against opposition. The 2 away games we've lost, the 1-0 against France and 1-0 against Sweden, there were 2 set pieces. And all I'm hoping, Paul, is we get our set piece structure right. Person on the post, ball for corner kicks if needs to be, Paul, like you said the other day.
The basics.
The basics, Paul. We need the basics. We need Courtney Brosnan to have an unbelievable game. And to be fair, she hasn't let Ireland down. She's anytime she's been called on, she's made some good saves. Defence is going to have to be solid, structured and organised. We're not going to have a lot of the ball, Paul, let's face it. We're going to be defending a ledger of box for a lot of it. When we do get a chance, we have to be we have to be clinical, Paul. That's the thing that we haven't scored since the Nations League. We haven't scored a goal in this competition for the qualifiers. It is disappointing. I think we've done, like the game against Sweden at home, 3 or 4 brilliant chances.
Yeah.
And we missed them all. So if you'd ask me for prediction, Paul, I say England probably 2-0, like the home game.
Yeah.
I think England will grind it out. They'll eventually get the better of us. And
just before we move on, historic game in the game against France is in Páirc Uí Chaoimh. First of all, it's good to out of Dublin because I'm sure the supporters down the south of the country or different parts find it very hard to get to Dublin, and so that's the first thing now. The only about Páirc Uí Chaoimh, because the GA pitch is so big, the pitch inside is that, I mean, the dimensions of the soccer pitch, it looks strange, we'll say, but I'm sure the players will adjust it.
Yeah.
And I hope there's a crowd there because Páirc Uí Chaoimh was redeveloped. And if there's only 25 or 30,000, there can be kind of a half empty, you know what I mean, we'll say. But look, it's good, it's out of Dublin anyway, and it's a historic first competitive soccer match, I believe, in Páirc Uí Chaoimh. But there was a friendly game there already, I believe, but I'm hoping to correction that. But it's good, it's out of Dublin. There is supporters around the country too. It might be easier to get to Cork, even though Páirc Uí Chaoimh can be a good place to get to too. But it's good, it's out of Dublin too, and it's a historic match.
Yeah, it can be a hard place to get to. I think Clare Spurs will tell you
Yeah,
that with the
yeah,
hurling ball, getting in and out of it. But look, it is good. Like there'll be good support. Like Denise Sullivan there, she's captain for the game against England, and
she's
of
from
course I
Cork,
think
isn't
Katie
she?
McCabe will get. She's from Cork, and Katie McCabe will probably get the captain armband off her for the French game. But it's good that a lot of good Cork players that play for Ireland. They never had a chance to play in Cork for the home team. And look, you are right, Paul. The Cork Grieve can be, I wouldn't say a soulless place. We need the place full, Paul, to get a good atmosphere in there, and particularly when there's going to be a bigger space between the players now
Yeah,
and the fans. When it was a trouble, you had that connection. I know it's little bit different, Paul, but Crow Park, when the games with soccer
yeah,
players were playing in Crow Park, there was a big distance between the sideline and the fans because there was an extra runoff for the ball to go off the pitch because obviously the J pitch is much bigger than the soccer
yeah,
pitch. So it will have that trouble. But look, I think if you have a decent crowd in there, you would be able to create an atmosphere. And we're playing France, and don't forget, Paul, France, I think, are playing Sweden before that, and
yeah,
then they'll have Ireland, and the France are looking to win the group or get into the top two. So this is going to be a serious game for France as well.
yeah,
So we're going to have to create a good atmosphere, get in amongst them, let them know we're there. As I say, we're at home. I would hope that we can score. If we don't score in England, I hope at least score against the France game because I don't think we played quite well at times in attack. We just haven't taken our chances. But you would hope that we've learned from that and that we are clinical enough in these next two matches to score at least one goal in each of them. The only trouble is, Paul, is French and English have such quality.
yeah,
They're not in the top 5 or 6 teams in England European champions, for God's sake. And the French are always knocking
yeah,
on the doors around the Germans. So it's probably, like I said, two defeats coming our way. Probably England 2-0 in the in Carrow Road. And yes, we'd call the French game probably 2-1 France or 1-0 France.
yeah,
I just feel that they would have too much for us in both games.
yeah. Now, no, just a final question. We're going to be in the playoffs for these Euros, trying to qualify for the Euros. I presume they'll be on the autumn. I haven't found out yet, but I think either a quarter final
Yeah.
playoff, semi final playoff. So will they be looking forward to that, or how can they look forward to that? Because that, I think, is the big thing now. It's obviously the game itself, and you take each game on its merits, but the management have to be looking forward to that. But like I see Neil Fahey there now, and she's named in the defenders, but she's a great player, but she's coming to the end of her career. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So should they be looking for? Because that's what the whole thing with this Euro is trying to qualify for the Euro. They were never going to qualify for this group. Everyone knew that. So just what you're
Yeah.
talking at the final comment.
Yeah, Paul. That's why I think we need to get good performances because we're always good as the last match. And if we get like say hammered, like I remember the French game before the World Cup. It was a friendly. We were playing okay against them. Next time they scored two quick goals in the at the end of the first half. And then they just played it around it for us, and then they couldn't get near upon. They scored a third goal. If we if we if we could put in a good decent performance in Cork, like score a goal, take something out of it, build on it. Because the last we want to do is have two big defeats after the group matches. Because if you're going into the playoffs then having lost like literally 6 games and have hardly scored a goal, so and I know we're playing big tough opposition, and the teams we're going to be playing the playoffs won't be at that level. Paul, to be fair, I don't know, is it going to be like a League B side or
I
even a
just
League
don't
C
know.
side we could get in the playoffs because we're in League A and
Yeah.
being in League A you get the advantage of playing sides or ranked lower than you and probably not the standard of the teams you're playing. So that's one big advantage. But we have to perform well, Paul. We have to be eyes on the ball. We could get caught too, Paul. That's always a fear. We'll have one team might see Ireland as a big scalp, and if we're now bang at it, we could get caught and not get to the Euros at all. So I think these 2 games are crucial in terms of our preparation for the playoffs because I don't think we're going to have any game between now once this qualifying campaign is over and the playoff. I'm up to correction that there might be friendly.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what window they're in, but we have to be ready. And I think as long as we don't get, I don't think we're going to get hammered in either game, but I think we need to build on a score goal, create chances, at least perform well, and just say you were beaten by the better team. They're just better than us. But if we're well beaten, if we give away a silly goal, if we get like
Yeah.
terrible goal, if we did against Sweden, it is a frustration, Paul, because any team can score from a corner kick to before,
Yeah.
as long as it's a good ball into the box, bad marking, any team can score from a corner kick. So we need good performance out of this. We need to build on something from this. We need to have something tangible to take from it. from these next two matches, because the playoffs are going to be huge for us. And as you said yourself, I called it two defeats, and sadly that's where it's going to be in these two games as a qualifier.
Yeah, 1 second now.